Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's class on attitudes to gratitudes. So today we're going to be talking about kind of changing that stinking thinking. This is one of the classes that we have that regards stress and how to cope or deal with it in a more productive manner. So we usually talk about stress in a multitude of ways. We talk about the fact that stress can be physical, it can be chemical, it can be emotional. All of those are definitely an issue. They can be positive and they can be negative. So what's a positive stress? Well, working out, right? That is a stress to the body that is positive in nature. It helps to increase muscle tone, increase blood flow, increase oxygenation. Those are all good things, but it also causes stress upon the body. That would be a physical positive stress. A chemical positive stress. Maybe you're drinking more water and your body's not used to it, so you end up having to go to the bathroom a little bit more frequently. Once your body is used to that, you're not using the facilities as much as you would think. So that could be a chemical stress. Yes, water is a chemical. Then we could look at emotional stress. Positive emotional stress would be like a wedding, right? So all of the wonderfulness, the birth of a baby, all of the wonderfulness that's about to come with that, but also all of the stress of the preparation, etc., etc. Okay. So positive and negative stress. We always kind of think about stress as a negative thing, but it's not always a negative thing. It can absolutely be a positive thing. And so how do you deal with that? Well, if you don't plan, failure to plan is planning to fail. Let me say that again for you. Failure to plan is planning to fail. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if you just wing it, and you have no idea what's going on, your chances of being successful are far less than if you have a course of action planned out. Take college, for example. Now, this is a big plan, right? It has course load. It has, what you're doing every day, right? It is planned out from start to associate's, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, postdoctorate, what have you. It is all planned out. And therefore, you can be successful. Now, what are the chances if you don't do any studying that you can pass the bar as a lawyer? Well, it's not zero, but it's close. Okay? There are people that have gone and passed the bar who have never taken a law course in their life, but they've also done other things like reading the books, right? And they've prepped and they've gone through things. So planning is essential in dealing with stress. One way you can plan is something called a G.A.S card, right? Now, we've talked about this probably ad nauseum, but you get yourself a 3x5 card. I like green cards because green just means growth. It's, refresh, that kind of thing. And you write on these G.A.S cards, let me see if I can do this right. You write on there, hey, look at that, I did it right. You write on there G.A.S, okay? You divide that into thirds, like so. Now, in your G area, that is what are you grateful for? What are you thrilled about? What are you joyful? What brings you happiness? Things of that nature. So this, for me, lately, this was things like coffee, right? Cooler weather, new patients coming in, patients coming out of the woodwork. That always brings me joy, as long as they're not coming in because they're hurting, right? They're coming in to have a better life. I always feel bad when patients come to me and they're in pain, right? I love it when patients come to me and say, I'm here because I know it's been a while and I know I need to be in. Love that, right? So whatever makes you happy, whatever brings you joy, whatever brings you gratitudes, that's what you're going to write down, what you're grateful for. You're going to write that down there, okay? Now, those can change daily. They may not change at all. On my G.A.S cards, the first two on my G.A.S card is God and then my wife, Crystal. Those are always the first two. After that, it kind of changes up. Usually family's in there. Sometimes it's other things. Sometimes it's cooler weather. Sometimes it's coffee because, even though I don't allow myself more than 30 milligrams of caffeine, sometimes that, 12 milligrams that I get from a cup of coffee, decaf coffee, of course, is beautiful pick-me-up, right? I don't allow myself any more than 30 milligrams of caffeine in a week. So that means I have 2 cups of coffee, never 3 in a week. Okay? So it all depends, right? So whatever you're grateful for, those are going to change, and they could change every day. They could be the same almost every day, right? And that's perfectly fine. So the next one, the A. The A stands for actions. What do you need to do to better yourself? This is not to better others around you. This is you. So, for me, one of the things that I'm working on is doing my gas cards daily, right? It's something that I've used to do all the time, y'all. And now I've gotten lax and I'm not doing them daily. So I need to get back to doing them daily. So one of my action steps, and there's 2, no more than 3 ever, okay? You put 2, no more than 3. So for me, action, gas card, right? Because I need to make sure that I'm doing those. Patient calls. That's something that I have on my gas card for today because I have a few patients that I've got to call, right? And if you're thinking it's me, it probably isn't, but I probably should call out, talk to you if you're thinking that. Anyways, so you put down things that you're doing to better yourself, and for me, that means better my practice, right? Better the environment in which I work. So it may be that I need to do some script training. It may be that I need to plan, and this is on there, plan for my upcoming trip where I have a seminar that I'm going to called Financial Camp. Okay, so those are my 3 for this day. Now they change as you get them completed. Okay, so you get it done, you put a check mark, great job, you've completed it. Now the next day I'm going to have gas on there again because it's a daily thing, but I might not have planned for the trip because I may have accomplished that, right? So it might be something else, or I might not have patient calls because I made them, right? So it all depends. So that changes as they are performed. The last one that we're going to talk about is this one here. That's the S. Now S, right, stands for secret and or selfless service. What are you going to do for others out there to set them up for success, to honor them, things of that nature? So for me, a lot of times it falls back to veterans, right? As many of you know, my dad was a vet. My father-in-law was a vet. My cousin, my grandpa. I mean, lots of people in my family are veterans. And to me, that's a huge thing. So I like to give back to vets as much as I possibly can. So it might have something to do with that. It might have something to do with the fact that my mother-in-law is up from Florida for a little bit. So it may have something to do with her, right? It may have something to do with Crystal because maybe she's struggling at this, that, or the other. Whatever the case may be, it's setting somebody else up to succeed. And here's the big kicker with this: without the expectation of thank you. So you've got your gratitudes, you've got your actions, and now you have your secret or selfless service. This changes again, kind of like this one as you get it completed, but pretty much about once a week. Okay, and then what I do is I fold this. Okay, so I fold the S over the A, and I make that nice and secretive, right? And then I fold the G back upon itself. So then when I look at it, all I have are the gratitudes, things that I'm happy for. And so when I have struggling thinking and I'm causing myself to swirl down that woe is me, I pull this out and I look at the things that I'm grateful for, right? If I need help to remember, then I can open that up and I see my acts that I need to do and my service that I need to do. It's as simple as that, guys. Let me tell you, if you're not doing this, you really, really need to be doing this. It will help you to retrain your brain so that you focus on positivity over the negativity. We have far too much negative in the world today. Let's focus on some positive light, right? Let's be the light out there that shines out the darkness. It's huge. So I implore all of you to start doing gas cards. It's simple, it's easy, takes a couple of seconds, really, maybe a minute and a half to do them. So you're talking 90 seconds to do a gas card. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little longer to think of it, but really it doesn't take that long. So I'm going to encourage you, do these gas cards. Share with me just the things you're grateful for. So share it below in the comments. What are the things you're grateful for? If you made it this far, I'm grateful that you made it this far through this, okay? And I want to know what you're grateful for. I don't need to know what things you're working on or what your secret selfless service is. That is for you. But share your gratitudes. And let's see how many people will share their gratefulness and gratitudes below. And look at us here on Facebook and here on YouTube. Leave them in the comments. I'm really curious. I'm really curious of what we're going to see. So, with that, I will see you all later today, later this week, and early next week for your adjustments. Thank you very much, and have a beautiful day.